everyone, and how you doing? Thank you for stopping by my channel today. It's time for August favorites, and September makes me nervous. I don't really like September. It has been more than a little while since I've been in school, but September makes me nervous because I get that knot in the pit of my stomach about back to school. I hate back to school. I don't go to school. It's been way too long since I've been in school, yet I still have that feeling. Does anybody else have that feeling even though school has nothing to do with you right now? What is that? By the way, if you like a really good favorites video, then give my video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And you might want to hit the subscribe button because I upload for sure every single Friday, but I'm really trying to get some bonus videos up. And if you're a subscriber, then you will be notified immediately when those bonus videos go up because you cannot apparently waste a second. But if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate it. So if you're interested in seeing what I've loved in the month of August, then just keep watching. By the way, is the ponytail okay? Because I did my makeup and brushed my teeth this morning and I was impressed with myself that I was able to accomplish that much. I was like, oh no, I do not have it in me to do my hair today. It's too warm outside. And I was like, bam, bam, up in like 3 seconds, the ponytail. So you know how it is sometimes, right? I always do my makeup first and I was like, I got no more in me today. So I'm gonna start this month with matte, as in Meet Matte Creone. How cute is that? By The Balm. This is one of their shadow palettes. It's a pretty generic, I don't want to say generic. It's a pretty, nothing outrageous, standard looking palette. I was drawn to this palette because there are some really pretty mauve, like purpley Merlot sorts of shades, which by the way are very, very pigmented. I also love that there's a really great transition shade. Curiously, I was drawn to this baby pink shade that's kind of right here. I don't really own anything that's baby pink when it comes to shadows, and I kind of don't know why, but I think it winds up looking really good on the lid. It's what I'm wearing on my lid today. So it winds up being not too white and have some color to it, but I think this palette is just all over. I love the color selection, I love the quality, and I've been reaching for it a lot this month. So I said that I was a convertee over to the Clinique Cheek Pops. I have been loving Peach Pop this summer, and I went and I got another one. This is Nude Pop. Again, this is one of those blushes that looks really funny in the pan. Doesn't really look like much is going on at all. By the way, I love these cheek pops in general. I didn't at first, and so I'm having to, what do you call that? Eat crow? That sounds gross. Has anybody ever actually eaten crow? Oh my god, I bet there are crow eaters and now I've like insulted them because I've implied that they eat something gross. Okay, I'm sorry, eating crow is gross. But anyway, I've had to eat crow because I kind of knocked the cheek pops initially and then now I love them. So this is a very just neutral, kind of go with anything sort of blush color. If you remember, I've said before that NARS Madly is kind of my favorite similar kind of blush, the kind that goes with warms and cool tones and just kind of goes with any look and you can't go wrong with it. I feel like the Nude Pop by Clinique is the slightly pinkier version of NARS Madly. So NARS Madly being a little bit more neutral, a little bit more like sandier, tanner, browner, whereas the Nude Pop just has a kick of a little bit of extra pink in it. I am wearing Nude Pop today and I feel like these are like not identical twins, but they're like, what do you call those? Fraternal twins. You know, the twins that come out, they look really, really similar, but they're not exactly the same. My next favorite from this past month, I think I mentioned in a haul recently, total surprise, wasn't even looking for it, didn't even like have an opinion about it ahead of time. It's by Makeup Revolution and it's their Vivid Baked Bronzer in Golden Days. It's a marbled bronzer, so it's got a non-matte quality to it, but it's not reflective or shimmery or, you know, it's got like a sheen to it. It is the happiest, most friendly bronzer that you're ever gonna find. I don't understand. It also kind of swatches a little pale on my hand, but when I put it on my face, it's not too orange, it's not too cool. Again, I am wearing that today as well, and it gives me a no-fail, really easy, just warmed up, bronzy sort of look, and I was totally surprised by it. Makeup Revolution really is revolutionizing Oh, you see what I did there? So I want to talk for a minute about some foundations. I actually have 3 from this past month, which doesn't even seem possible, but I promise you that it was. I'm going to talk real briefly about the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. I just did a complete review on this foundation. I will link that video here as well. Please go check it out. The thing about this foundation, just really quickly, is that it gives you really good coverage. It's a mattifying sort of a finish, a soft matte finish. Deals with my oil, doesn't over mattify me, winds up lasting a really long time. Excellent shade selection, gorgeous bottle, reasonable price, not too expensive for something that you would buy at Ulta or Sephora. And this is like one of my now favorite all-time foundations like ever in the whole wide world. By comparison, if you aren't interested in spending as much money on the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, I have 2 other alternatives from the drugstore which don't do the complete package of the All Nighter, but they give you some of the qualities of, and then you can make your decision about which you like better. So I had recently been able to actually find by Milani the Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This gives you amazing coverage. It's really comfortable to wear, and I was really, really pleased with it when I was able to, like I said, to finally find it. Is it long wearing? Yes, but I wouldn't actually challenge it so much, you know, like at a beach party or like a evening party, dancing, sweating sort of a deal. I am not sure it could handle that 100%, but it is a very decently kind of all day wearing foundation. If you want something that's a little bit, you know, long wearing, also from the drugstore, this has been out forever and I was very late to the party. It's by CoverGirl, the Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. Oh, and sunscreen, so you get a bonus. I guess they're assuming you might be at a beach party and you might need to have some sunscreen on your face or something. I don't know. I like when the products do double duty. I hear people talk about like the flashback and stuff when you're wearing a sunscreen based foundation, and I'm like, I don't take that many pictures. I'm not attending events where I'm like the main sort of focus, and so I think I'd rather keep the skin cancer away and cover up the splotchiness that is my face. So this foundation doesn't give as maximum coverage, let's say, as the Milani and then even as the Urban Decay All Nighter does, but it does give you very good coverage, and it is a very long wearing foundation. It's been about 90 degrees where I'm at here on the East Coast for the last, you know, couple weeks or so, and I've been gardening in this, I've been outside walking my dogs, and I was not grumpily disappointed with what I looked like when I returned from any of those activities. And so to me, that is a good sign of a long wearing foundation. This next product that I found at Walgreens, I have also seen at Walmart, really brought me back in the day when I was kind of a wee little lad and I would shop the drugstore. My BFF and I, we would like go to the drugstores once a week, explore new products, have a really great time. I've loved makeup for a very, very long time. I'm not that old, so it hasn't been that long, but you know, comparatively speaking, with some perspective, it's been a long time. So when I saw this product, I was so excited because Max Factor isn't really sold here anymore. And I don't know if this is like a test product or something. They want to see what our reaction to it is, but they released a mascara and an eyeliner. The eyeliner was not in stock, but I was super happy to see that the mascara was. It's called the Masterpiece Max High Volume, High Definition Mascara. Now, not only was I excited because I was able to see this brand again, but it's actually a really nice mascara. It is a wetter formula. The brush is made of those plasticky bristles, but they are spaced very nicely apart so that they do wind up nicely volumizing your lashes even through a second and third coat. Doesn't really do too much to lengthen, which it's not claiming to. But I really hope that Max Factor, if you remember seeing it, the packages used to be like a dark, like midnight blue, like ombre into like a black, and actually their mascara tubes used to be a little bit shorter and a little bit fatter and chubbier. I love Max Factor. P.S. They did have lipsticks as well, and I was not impressed with the lipstick. I actually returned it. It was about 11 bucks, and I was like, it was a little too glossy, a little too sheer. I'm sure they make other styles. I hope they bring those other styles, but I'm loving their mascara, and I really hope Max Factor comes back. So, brief confession, I am rarely on time for anything, and in fact, whenever I am on time for something, I like announce it. I'm like, do you see me right now? I am on time. Turns out, from what I understand, now that I'm living back on the same coast as my brother is absolutely on time time, if not way early for most events. And I'm like, yeah, you got all of the punctuality that was passed on from our parents because I got none of it. So whenever there's a party, I am, of course, fashionably late. So when it comes to this next product, one, I'm not surprised that I'm late, but I am so late. Actually, it's kind of embarrassing now. I received a sample of the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and that's why this guy is so tiny. I have now actually since purchased the entire full size. So this is a brush tip liquid liner. The ink liner, that's the felt tip guy, and I've tried that one too and I wasn't that impressed. And I was like, a brush tip liner? Come on, it can't be that unique or it can't be that phenomenal. And so I have tried all the others, and all the others are decent. And in fact, I would even go so far as to say that they were dupes for it, like by L'Oreal and I believe Maybelline in particular. Yet, when I got the sample of this at Sephora, I don't remember if it was 100 points or it was just a free sample, I forget. But I tried out this liner and I'm like, are you kidding me? How can you be actually that much better still than all the other ones that I didn't even think I had a problem with? And I don't know. There's something about the tattoo liner that just is super black, glides on super easily. Whenever I line my eyes, they wind up actually looking better. And they were easier to apply. I can't explain it. I don't know why. People talk about Kat Von D's liners. I resisted because I was like, I don't need to spend that much, and it's not all that awful. I think it's 20 bucks, give or take. But now I am converted. I am now a full-on fan of this, and this is gonna be, I think for me, I feel like, stay tuned for an update, but I feel like this liner for me is gonna feel like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, where I'll keep using others and I'll keep thinking they're okay, but I'm just gonna keep on going back to this one. I've got a couple lippies that I'm actually wearing all together at the same time right now, and then I've got some non-makeup products. I was introduced to this by one of you guys actually in the comment section. It's by Sephora. It is the, let me get this right, the Rouge Gel Lip Liner. It's a twisty lip liner, which I appreciate. This is in the shade Nothing But Nude, and it's a pinky nude. Big surprise, right? I like to wear it alone, or I do like to top it with a lip gloss if necessary. It glides on very, very nicely, lasts a very decent amount of time, will come off when you want it to come off, and doesn't wind up like tattooing itself to the outside and perimeter of your lips, which is just gross and makes your lips look awful. So I've been loving that as a lip liner. I am wearing it in combination with an Anastasia lip gloss, which Anastasia lip glosses made my ride or die tag because I just think they're the most phenomenal lip glosses. They are pigmented, they are comfortable, they are creamy enough but not too slippery so that you feel like they're falling off your face. This is in the shade Kristen, which is just a really pretty kind of pinky mauvey nude. And those are the two lip products that I've been wearing in combination a lot this month. It's been really comfortable on my lips. The Sephora lip liner doesn't wind up drying my lips out like some other lip liners do. By the way, thank you so much for the support in reference to my love-hate relationship when it comes to MAC lip liners. And the fact that you feel like you're like ripping your lips off just in order to try to get a little bit of color onto your lip, and then miraculously or magically it never wants to come off. So I don't even understand that, but thank you for letting me know that I am not alone in fighting with those darn little pencils. Okay, my next product is a moisturizer, and I couldn't resist this. Can we just like see how cute this is? Here's the baby and here's the mama bottle. Look at the difference. Now this is the trial like travel size, and this is like the Mambo Jumbo like size that you wait for 20% off in order to wind up getting this like huge bottle of, by Tarte, it's the Maracuja oil. I had done a video in the past and I was asking you guys for some recommendations for some really good facial moisturizers, and I've been having a lot of fun going through your list of recommendations. One of the things that I was able to try immediately was one of you mentioned using, you know, a facial oil all over your face. Now I had only been using that for my spot areas like around my nose and around my mouth, which required extra moisturization, and then I would use a separate moisturizer, and I was finding that that other moisturizer wasn't giving me enough moisture. And so one of you guys pointed out you use the, you know, Maracuja oil or any other facial oil kind of all over your face, and I was like, how come I could not think outside the box and do that? And so that's what I've been doing. In addition to trying all of your other suggestions, it is not greasy. It winds up making my skin feel wonderful in the morning. And despite my issues with acne and oil control, it does not exaggerate, exasperate, or piss off either of those issues for me. The rest of my products actually are like, have to do with like moisturization and oiliness as well. I guess because it's summer and we're trying to moisturize against the sun, which in the winter we'll be trying to moisturize against the cold. So it's like a constant battle to stay moisturized. So I have been taking my makeup off in the evening. Simple came out with a cleansing oil. It's called the Hydrating Cleansing Oil. I love their micellar water. It is my favorite one that is around that I've tried, and I've tried a few. And so I've used the one by Garnier, which has awful packaging. I've used the one by Number 7, which has just not the greatest smell, but better packaging. And so the one by Simple, I'm loving this one. It winds up spreading so nicely and so easily, and literally like cuts into my makeup so quickly. You know, all of those long-lasting, long-wearing, baked in with sweat and facial nastiness at the end of the day. This cleansing oil so far is my favorite of the ones that I've tried, and so I was super excited. I'm always super excited. Do you notice I say that a lot? I was super excited. I was super excited to introduce this into my skincare regime. So way back in the day, I did a video on some in-shower lotions, which I still think is the most phenomenal concept ever, because I'm not a huge fan of moisturizing after the shower because it just feels sticky and it reminds me of feeling sweaty, which I feel a lot, and so I don't like to feel sweaty when I first get out of the shower. So anyway, Nivea, I think I talked about this in a haul recently. Nivea makes an in-shower lotion, but Nivea has 3 different steps, 3 different intensities. So there's the white bottle, which is the lowest. There's the dark navy bottle, which is the most hydration and moisturization. And then there's this guy who's in the middle. This is the last one that I tried, and of course, it's the one that I like the best. The one in the white bottle is just too liquidy for me. It almost is like a liquid, just kind of a creamy liquid, and it's just not as moisturizing. The one in the dark blue bottle is so thick, I get like a hand cramp trying to get it out of the bottle, out of the tube so that I can use it. And I do not have that kind of time in the morning when I'm in the shower, because remember, I'm always running late, right? Oh, you see how I did that? Yeah, right there. Anyway, the Nivea one in the middle is just right because it gives me good moisturization in the shower, but isn't too drippy and too droopy, and comes out of the bottle with ease. So those are my August favorites. What have you been loving this month? Please definitely leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe before you go. Just a heads up and reminder, I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, so please join me over there as well. I hope you have a really good end of summer. Best of luck to anybody who has a back to school situation going on, whether it's for you or maybe your children. I hope all of that goes well because like I said, it brings me anxiety. I hope you have a really good rest of the day. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In the meantime, thanks.